Hi, 7th graders. Welcome back from spring break. We're going to jump right into section 10.3, probability. This is the only other section we're going to do in chapter 10. So let's get to it. Probability is the likelihood that, or the chance that something's going to happen. You hear this a lot of time with the weather. 30% that it's going to rain, or 70% will have a snowstorm. Okay, they're taking the chance of the possibility of how many areas could get snow out of the whole entire areas in West Michigan here. Okay, that is what probability is. And to find our probability, we're going to use an equation to work with. Okay, and the equation is that probability equals the successful chances that something will happen over all the possible things that could happen here. Okay, that's the equation we're going to use, and we can always talk about probability, like we said, with percent, 30% chance that it will rain. Okay, we're going to use our spinner here and to help us explain what's going on here. Here we have a normal spinner from maybe one of your board games here. There are 5 possible spots on the spinner, okay? And looking at this spinner, we're wondering how likely is it that I could spin a 2, okay? Well, looking at our spinner, there's only one section with a 2. And so I am going to put that as the 1, because remember my equation is the successes that it's going to happen. Well, I only have one section that is 1, so I'm going to put 1 on top. Okay, now how many possible outcomes could I have? Well, how many spots on the spinner do I have? I have 5. So that's going to go in my denominator, and I get the fraction 1/5. Okay, now the thing is, you got to be careful with homework. Are they asking for the fraction, or are they asking for a percent? Now, if they want the percent, we're going to take the top, and we're going to divide it by the bottom to get the percent. So 1 divided by 5, I'm going to do this over here on this paper. 1 divided by 5, remember I put the top inside, the bottom on the outside, have to bring up my decimal, and 5 can't go into 1, but 5 can go into 10 2 times, so I get 0.2. Now remember, when I'm taking it as a decimal and putting it to a percent, I need to move my decimal spot 2 to the right. So 1/5 as a percent would be 20%. Okay, so that's how we use this. Let's do one more example here. Take a look at my spinner, and the next question says, what is the probability of spinning an odd number? Well, how many odd numbers do I have on the spinner? I have 1, 2, 3. So that is going to go in the top, and then in the bottom, once again, it's how many possible outcomes are there? Well, there's 5 spots, so it's 5, 3/5. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and turn it into a percent, remember I take the top, put it inside, 5 goes outside, put my decimal, 5 can't go into 3, but it can go into 30. And now I move my decimal 2 spots to the right to turn it into 60%. Okay, so that is how probability works here. Now, we're going to get a little tricky here. Before we do that, I want you to turn in your book to page 440. Page 440 here, they have skill check 1 box here, okay? They give you an example. It says a Sunday school teacher puts his 10 students' names in a hat. He has Tom Schaefer, Adam Parr, Chad Miller, Roger Hoffman, Nancy Morris, Kara Hoffman, Trisha Hoffman, Rebecca Miller, Shannon McKinnon, Kathy Schaefer. Okay, there's his 10 students. Now it says, give the probability of drawing a name that satisfies the given criteria. And the given criteria for the first one is a boy. So out of that list, how many boys are there? Well, we have Tom, we have Adam, we have Chad, we have Roger. Go through the list, and that looks about it. So with counting that, I end up with 4 boys. Okay, Tom, Adam, Chad, and Roger, 4. Now, how many total did I have? I had 10. Now, here's the thing. We have to reduce our fraction. Okay, so what goes into both of this? Well, obviously 2 does. So once I reduce it down, I get 2/5. That is my probability. Now, if they ask me to do it by percentage, remember I'm going to put 2 on the inside, divide by 5, and I end up with, move it over, and I get 40%. Okay, now let's get a little bit tricky here and skip down to number 3. Number 3 says a person with a last name not shared by anyone else in the class. Okay, so we're looking for people that don't have the same name. So we got to go through here carefully. It looks like Tom Schaefer doesn't have, nope, Tom Schaefer has one. How about Parr? Anyone with Parr? Nope, so that's 1. We have Miller is another one. There's a Hoffman. Do I have, oh, there is a Miller. So I've got Hoffman and Parr so far. And I don't see another Morris. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, there is a Hoffman here. So it looks like right now we're just down to Parr and Morris. Okay, keep going through, and it looks like the last one is McKinnon. So I have 3 possible names, and then how many in the bottom is 10. So that would be my fraction. I can't reduce it down. And then to turn it into a percent, remember, put top divided by bottom. I end up with 3, move it 2 to the right, and I get 30%. Okay, so that's how probability works. Now we're going to get a little bit trickier here, and we're going to deal with the fundamental principle of counting. That is what you worked with, remember, at the beginning, right before spring break. That's when we take all the possible outcomes and multiply them together. So to figure this out, we're going to get right into it here, okay? Now, it says if a trailer license plate has 3 letters with no repeats, find the probability of getting a license plate that has letters from only the first half of the alphabet. Okay, so we're interested in the first half of the alphabet here. And so to do that, there's 26 letters in the alphabet, cut it in half, so that means 13. Now, that is going to be my beginning number is 13. Okay, now it says no repeats. So if I can't repeat them, it means the next time I go to draw a number, I'm going to have 12. And then the next time I go to draw, I'm going to have 11 chances. Okay, we only want 3 letters, so those are my options. Now I'm going to multiply them all together, and I'm going to get 1,716. That is my successes. That is what's going to go in the top portion, okay, of my fraction. Now, we need to, for our denominator, we need to figure out how many possibilities are. How many possibilities are there? Well, there's 26 letters in the alphabet. Okay, now remember, every time I go to draw, there's one number that gets held out. So I go 26, 25, 24. And when I multiply those all together, I end up with 15,600. Okay, so that is there's my equation for probability. Okay, now I need to go ahead and I need to divide these out. I'm going to take the top divided by the bottom. And to make this go a little bit quicker here, I divided that out and I got 0.11 and it continued on. Move it 2 to the right and I end up with 11%. Okay, so that's what we're working with today is probability. Don't forget, probability is the total successes divided by the possibilities of what could happen. Okay, be careful. Watch what they're asking for. Are they asking for even or odds? Are they looking for specific colors? Read your instructions very carefully. If you have any questions, send me an email. Bye.